Welcome to Sales Made Easy. It's your friend in business, sales, and marketing, Devon Gall here. What we're going to do is cover one of the most impactful lessons I have ever learned in my over dozen years of sales. All right, but before we jump into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you're thinking. And then also our friendly PSA down here at Sales Made Easy, make sure you got a notebook. Make sure you're taking your future, your career, your life, your outcome, your business. You're taking it seriously. You got to be a maniac about your own success. No one else is going to do it for you. So I know you didn't come to YouTube to do homework, but you got to take notes. You already looked up sales training. You want to learn something, you need to write it down so you can apply it out in the field. All right. So today's lesson is entrepreneur mindset versus employee mindset. All right. So what does this mean? Before we jump into it, you might be an entry-level rep. Maybe you're a leader. Maybe you're training, right? Maybe you're moving up. Maybe you're a manager, right? Maybe you're higher than that, all right? But in sales, you are running a miniature business. Everything you do in your sales, be it just your own list with your own customers or you're running a team of people, that is a business, all right? You may be an employee on paper, but if you treat it like being an employee, you're going to get employee level results, all right? If you treat it for what it really is, being an entrepreneur, you're going to get much better results, all right? So entrepreneur versus employee mindset. So we'll just kind of go back and forth here and go over the list, and I'd love to hear some questions. I'm open to answer any questions in the comments, and I will respond to as many as I can. All right. So an entrepreneur says, I can. An employee says, I can't. It couldn't be more simple of a boiled down explanation than that. Says I can versus says I can't. All right. An entrepreneur is going to blame themselves when things go wrong. All right. Who do you think an employee is going to blame? Right? So they're going to blame others. Entrepreneurs stick to a system. They find a system, they use the system. An employee tries to reinvent the wheel. They got new ideas all the time, right? Depositing money versus withdrawing money constantly. Entrepreneurs always building the business up. There's nothing to build the business up. There's no business with an employee mindset, all right? Entrepreneur has goals. An employee has, who knows what they have. They're aimless. Right? They have dreams. Maybe a dream is a goal that was never written, isn't written down, or whatever, however you want to put it. They're aimless. They're just kind of along for the ride, right? So entrepreneurs, they desire freedom. An employee desires work-life balance. All right. Just want to touch on that work-life balance real quick. I was taught if you try to achieve work-life balance, you're going to be achieving that balance for the rest of your life. That means you're going to be working for the rest of your life. Is that really what you want? Do you want that work-life balance? An entrepreneur works their tail off so they don't have to work anymore. They want true freedom, right? So that's what they'll do 80-hour, 100-hour work weeks. That's why you hear those stories about the CEOs that sleep in the building or whatever. So it's freedom versus work-life balance. Truly entrepreneur versus employee mindset right there. Learns from mistakes. Entrepreneur learns from mistakes. Employees are afraid of even making mistakes, right? They don't want to take the risk because they don't want to look bad. Entrepreneur doesn't care. They don't care what other people are thinking about them. They're gonna make mistakes, and they're gonna make a lot of them, and they're gonna learn from them, and they're gonna learn from other people's mistakes too. Right? Desires self-security versus job security, right? An entrepreneur mindset, the average business owner who's successful It's something like 12 businesses. Their 12th business is the successful business. So they develop systems and fail repeatedly, right? But they have self-security because they are able to develop the self-security over time. Whereas the job security thing, we already know how that works, right? So, and let me tell you something about corporate, all right? They don't care about you. They don't care how loyal you are. No company is ever going to be as loyal to you as you are to them, all right? Things happen, bottom line changes, things change. Maybe they ship production overseas. It's happened a million billion times, all right? The rug gets pulled out from under you, 19 years of loyalty, and then that's going overseas, all right? So student mentality over here. Employees, they know everything already. They can't be told nothing. They don't have a notebook. They're not trying to learn nothing. They know the whole thing already. So entrepreneur knows, hey, maybe I'm really successful, but there's more. There's more to learn. There's always more to learn, all right? Entrepreneurs are taking responsibility for the good and the bad that happen. An employee takes responsibility only when the good happens. So something great happens, yeah, no problem. They got no problem taking responsibility. Something bad happens, then the finger pointing starts, right? Seeking growth, seeking risk, seeking comfort as an employee, seeking or avoiding risks, all right? So I'm using not a teleprompter here. I'm using my whiteboard, so just so you know here. Internally motivated as an entrepreneur, externally motivated, right? As an employee, like circumstances dictate success, willpower, mindset determines success for an entrepreneur, right? Circumstances come and go, they know this, right? Adaptable, flexible with their schedule, but with other things too. They're adaptable and they're flexible. That's what an entrepreneur is. An employee is rigid. All right, they're stagnant and they're rigid, especially with their schedule. They got to just do the 40 hours work week, whatever it is, on the dot, clock in, clock out on the dot, right? Entrepreneur, they says, whatever it takes. So willing to fail, afraid to fail. Make sacrifices. Entrepreneurs always making sacrifices. An employee feels they're owed something. All right. One of my favorite things I ever seen was it was a blank piece of paper, and at the top of it said the entire list of what the world and everyone in the world owes you. All right. If you feel owed, you're not gonna be in for a pleasant surprise. All right. When you're a servant leader, you make sacrifices for other people. Things happen. All right. You get raised up. You're going to fix the problem yourself. There's an issue, you figure it out, and you fix it, all right? Employees, they just wait. They just let that problem fester, whatever it is. Somebody else will take care of it. Pass the buck type mindset, right? Focused on results, focused on the clock, focused on time, right? Wants to upgrade their business, desires to upgrade their business, desires to upgrade their status, wants to be perceived as whatever they want to be perceived as, right? Entrepreneur says, I don't care what you think of me. I'm making the business better, right? Because I know the end result's going to be a million times better here. Willing to go the extra mile, right? They know there's no traffic jams on the extra mile. They're going to work the exact shift. The employee's working the exact shift no matter what. Punch in, punch out. That's what you hired me for. That's all I'm going to do. All right. Remember, if you're running sales, you get paid commission. All right. So I get it. If you have an employee mindset and you're getting paid just hourly and you don't have commissions or bonuses, I get it. Okay. But if you're doing sales, you're getting bonuses, you're getting commissions. Like, this is your own business. This is your business. You might be an employee on paper, like I said, but there's big money on the table here. And if you can just change and shift your mind to thinking like, hey, this is my own business. I'm going to take ownership of this and I'm going to have a massive outcome, right? Because I get paid commissions and bonuses. Makes sense, right? Correct self, right? They're constantly working on self-improvement. An employee always is able to correct somebody else. They know how everybody else could do better, for sure, right? You might know these people. They live below their means, right? Again, they're focused on upgrading the business. They live above their means. They're focused on that status, that perception that there's something greater, right? This is kind of like a Buddhist principle, but this applies in business. It's harsh to self, kind to others. Employee mindset is kind to self, harsh to others, right? Hate to say it, right? But it's true. An entrepreneur is planning out their dreams by writing them down, right? They got goals. That's what a goal is. They're writing it down. Employees just dream their plans. They're daydreaming, right? Daydreaming isn't always bad, right? It's good to have a vision, but you gotta write it down. You gotta have an action plan too. So like daydreaming is like the start of it. Like you want to be able to have those things, but then you got to start writing them down, start making them real, right? Start bringing them into reality and having an action plan about how you're gonna get there, right? See the opportunity, points out the problem, right? I know I can hire 9 out of 10 people to show me the problem, right? Not hard to find somebody to point out the problems. Who's the solution finder? Who's the person that says, okay, here's an opportunity. Here's where maybe there's a break in the chain, but here's something we can do or something I can personally do to make this go away, make this better, all right? So isn't that what sales is all about, is solving a problem, right? Reactive, that's backwards. Reactive as an employee, you're proactive as an entrepreneur, all right? So you're proactive as an entrepreneur, meaning you know things are gonna go wrong. You know things are gonna hit the fan. You know that's normal. That's how things work in sales and business, all right? Everything turns sideways. The whole freaking building is upside down. It happens. That's normal. You have plans you have it all planned out. You already know that's going to happen. Whereas an employee, they lose their mind. They crumble. Oh my goodness. This one little thing happened and now everything's over. Everything's over. I can't do anything. I can't make any more sales because one little tiny detail is not perfect, right? So if you need everything to be perfect, you're not going to make it as a business or salesperson, all right? Things are going to go wrong constantly. That's just normal, all right? So don't stop being reactive. Start being proactive. Start expecting. We want to expect the best, but things will go wrong. So just be prepared for it. It's okay. Like things will go right too, right? So be prepared for that. They do whatever is needed. An entrepreneur is going to do whatever is needed, no matter what. They're going to make it happen. That means like if it cuts in, they got to work extra, they got to pay extra, they got to just do whatever. They got to do what's needed. Like the business needs this, let's take care of it. Employee's going to do the bare minimum. Whatever's asked, they'll get right up to that point and they're just going to clock out. They're done, right? So treat your position, your commission and bonus position, like a business, because that's really what it is. You're running your own miniature business right now, and you're going to see great results. You're going to move up so quick on the ladder. All right. Appreciate you coming down. Appreciate you learning. Appreciate you taking notes here. I have used these lessons that I'm teaching for great success for myself in sales with different products and different services. This is a universal lesson. And I've also taught other people to find great success and get promoted with these exact same lessons. So use it. Appreciate you coming down. Love you all. See you on the next one now. Let's go make some money.